It's fine, I'll sort it out later. I've got a show to do. Hello and welcome to Science Matters, the show all about science, from the biggest galaxies to the tiniest atoms. My name's Tom, and in today's show we've got an action-packed, fun-filled and explosive show for you, including some experiments from Dina Dynamite and an interview with our local astronomy expert Martin. But first, have you ever wondered what planets are, where they come from or what they're called? You came to the right place. So here we've got the 8 planets. Here we have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. And what these are, this is the order from which they're from the Sun. So Mercury is the closest. And the way I remember this is by saying, my very easy method just speeds up nothing, which is a really easy way to remember it. Now also, there's a 9th planet, which I call Pluto. And chatting to a few of my scientists, we think it's a dwarf planet because it's just so small. It's even the size of Russia, so it's tiny. And also now we're in the experiment area. So, hi Dina, you right?
Tom. Yeah,
so,
good, thank you.
What have we got today?
Yeah, we've got some exciting experiments for our mini scientists to do.
Cool.
I'm going to start off first with a slime experiment that's really easy to do at home.
Right, okay.
So I've got a plastic cup here with some PVA glue.
Wicked.
And we've got a wooden stick in there as well. Yeah. And if you could get the green food colouring for me, please.
Is that one? Yep.
Yeah, technically slime is green.
Yep.
So we're going to use that.
Slime
and
green.
the pipette as
And
well,
one of them.
please. Thank you, Tom. And now I've got this over here, which is rather interesting, sodium tetraborate.
Ooh, okay.
It's actually the powder underneath. It's a what we call a super saturated solution.
Super saturated solution.
Yes, and that's
Cool.
the water.
Yeah.
And we've got a bit of food colouring in there as well.
Wicked.
So what I'm going to do is ask you to pick up the cup for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to just take the lid off there. And I'm going to just put a little bit of food colouring in it
Cool.
to create our slimy colour.
Yeah.
So could you please give that a stir for me?
Yeah.
Thank you. And now I'm going to put in one at a time.
Yum.
Our first, yum.
Yeah.
No, you don't eat this, kids at home. You don't eat this. A pepperful, and you want to give that a little stir. Just make sure that you get around the walls.
Yeah.
The wall of the cup, yeah.
Ooh.
I'm going to put another one in, and what can you notice?
It's really sticky, like
It
stuck
has.
to the wooden stuff really easily, isn't it? So.
I'm not going to put any more.
Yeah.
Because I do have one prepared.
Right. Okay.
However, I would like to show you
Yeah.
here, if you were to continue, this stickiness will become quite wet.
Yum.
And you'll be able to take it off the stick.
Yeah.
And eventually
got.
you will come out with this. So
Wicked.
what we've got here is it's dried up now after a couple of hours.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take this out. What you would do is essentially take it and you would roll it as you're rolling dough.
Yeah. Okay.
And then put it back in the cup, and once it's dried, you will get this product here, which is a bouncy ball.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Is that the way like bouncy balls are made, or?
Yeah. It can be manufactured like this as well. And that's
cool.
just something really good for them to do at home. So I'm going to put
Yeah,
that back.
yeah.
I've got something else to show
What else
you
have we
now.
got?
So we're going to look at polymers, Tom.
Oh, polymers.
And yes,
Okay.
polymer, which is something that scientists have created
Okay.
that to make all sorts of different things.
Okay.
And here I'm going to show you polymer itself.
Right, okay.
We've got a polystyrene cup. So this is polymer and oxygen.
Oh, okay.
And so I've got here acetone. I'm
Yep.
not going to ask you to smell it
Okay.
because it is nail
Bit
varnish.
pongy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Nail varnish remover.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take this and start to get rid of the oxygen.
Ooh, okay.
And when we do that, it will show us
So it's
the
starting
molecules.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll start to show us the chains of molecules, which is
Yeah.
the
Just like
molecular
that.
structure,
Wicked.
and that is the polymer.
Yeah.
So I think some children might say it looks a bit like a spider's web.
Yeah. No, it does. Really
Yeah.
does.
So yeah, if you want to take
Cool.
that,
Yeah. Let's play with that.
yeah, so that's nice, quick and easy
Yeah,
one.
that's cool.
Next, we've
Right.
got our lava experiment.
okay.
So I'd like
Start
the
one.
beaker, please, Tom. Thank
Yeah.
you. We've already got nearly half a cup of water in there,
Yeah.
half full.
Cool.
We need some vegetable oil
Vegetable oil
and some salt.
and some salt.
And over here, I've got some blue food colouring this time.
Okay, next.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop some of this into there. Would you be able to give that a good stir for me,
Yeah.
please?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And next,
Brilliant.
I'm going to put some of this vegetable oil in.
Yeah. Get it. There you go.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Yeah, stop staring.
Yeah.
Right, so put that in.
Cool.
And then what is going to happen is, all we can see.
Top, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's rising to the top.
Okay.
Now with that, we can see that the oil is actually lighter, which means it's less dense.
Yeah.
And now, if I put in some of this big dollop of salt, and we can see from that it's actually heavier.
Yeah.
So technically it's more dense, so it goes to the bottom. If I give it a little stir, it starts to dissolve. And with that, what happened was when it went in, the salt actually, it took down some of the oil with it.
Ah, okay.
But because it is lighter, it will
come back up.
Yes,
Okay.
it will come back to the top. But as it's doing that, it's formed these little blobs of oil within the water itself. And this is just a way of making your very own lava lamp.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to take that bottle over there.
So that's an example, isn't it?
Yeah, you could put this into an empty bottle.
Yeah.
And if you turn it upside down, you can turn it back again, and you've got your very own lava lamp.
That's cool. Right.
Yeah.
Final one.
Yep, you can take
What
that
have we
from
got?
the top.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
This one is really, really, I love this one.
Okay,
It's really
let's go
good.
for it.
Okay, so we need the conical flask.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we also
we
need
need?
some fairy liquid,
Fairy liquid. Check.
some vinegar,
Vinegar. Check.
and I have over here with me some food colouring. I'm going to use blue.
Okay,
So
yeah,
We've
I
got
think there we
green
go.
fairy liquid.
Yeah.
And also, we've got, I'm going to put this in quickly.
Yeah.
And also, we've got some bicarbonate of soda.
Cool.
So baking powder.
Yeah.
So this
cool.
is obviously used, for making
For cakes and
Yeah,
stuff,
making
but not
cakes.
today, I guess.
That's right. So I'm just going to put in 3 teaspoonfuls.
Yeah. Okay, oh, there you go.
Might get a little bit messy.
Yeah.
Right. Just one more. And then we need this to create our chemical reaction.
Yeah.
So next, we need to put our fairy liquid.
Right. Yeah.
And all this is really
Very
easy to
green.
buy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Easily.
Yep. And
Finally
next,
a bit. This is the goggles.
yes,
Yeah.
so put our goggles on,
Whoop. Right.
and we can see the chemical reaction happening now.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
So yeah, this is it's quite
Yeah.
smelly as well.
Yeah,
but
a little bit.
you can see this is a really good one.
That's
Kids
so
will
cool.
love this. But what is
Yeah.
actually happening is we've got our vinegar,
Yeah.
which is our acid, and we've got our bicarb, which is our alkali, and they create this chemical reaction, and the product from it is CO2, carbon dioxide. So that is actually the bubbles.
Yeah.
And the
Fairy.
fairy liquid is
Yeah.
really important because that helps it to flow over the entrance of the conical flask.
That's so cool.
So yeah, it is a bit
Yeah,
messy, but
yeah.
hopefully the kids wouldn't mind trying that at home.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thanks so much for coming in.
It's okay, my
Really
pleasure.
interesting stuff. So remember, you can do these at home, but just make sure you have an adult with you at that time because it can be a bit messy at points. Now, we've got our next guest, who is Martin, who's chatting to us about his Astrophysics Research Institute. Hi, Martin, you all right?
I'm good, thank you.
So firstly, what do you do?
Okay, so good question. I work for the National Schools Observatory. I'm officially the teacher liaison, which basically means I get to talk to teachers, find out what they want, but I also get to go and play with the kids and teach them science.
So
it's
lots of fun.
Lots of fun,
Yeah.
yes.
And what do you do at the National Schools?
Okay, so the National Schools Observatory, first of all, is a big project. It's a fantastic project. Liverpool John Moores University, we own and operate the world's biggest robotic telescope.
Cool. No, I can't imagine it being bigger than that. Is it?
A little bit, yeah,
Really?
a little
Wow,
bit,
okay.
yeah.
So
It's
really
an
big.
impressive telescope nonetheless,
Cool,
but
thanks,
yeah,
good. Really
yeah,
big,
just
okay.
yeah, it's huge.
Cool.
And it's used by professionals all over the world.
Yeah.
But a little bit of its time, 10%, is given to us at the NSO, and we give that to schools for free. So if you're watching this at home and you go to a school in the UK, then you've got free access to the world's largest telescope,
That's
which
amazing.
is world's largest fully robotic telescope. I should add. Yeah,
That's really handy.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And as a kid, were you quite interested in science? Like we all were, but how incited were you with
Yeah,
science?
I love my science.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a kid growing up, I was into football and science.
Yeah.
The football for obvious reasons, but
Yeah.
science, it was all about how things worked. I didn't care if something did. I was once given a camera, for example, and I wanted to know how it worked. I didn't care that it did. And I think that curiosity in me inspired my love of science because science gave me those answers. It explained the world to me.
Definitely. And so for science, like what do you think, like how important is science, do you think?
I think it's vital, yeah. It depends who you'd ask as to the answer you'd get. You know, there's biologists out there that would quite rightly say, you know, it's important to cure disease, to fight cancer and things like that,
Yeah.
that, you know, is important. But the physicists I work would argue that it's just as important to find out how the universe started, where we all came from, you know, is there life elsewhere? So for me, I think that's why there's so many different reasons that science is important, that science has to be vital.
Yeah.
It's all around us, it's
Definitely.
everywhere.
And do you have any interesting facts about science, maybe?
Yeah, I do have a good one.
Okay, let's go for it.
Okay, so imagine all the grains of sand on a beach.
Yeah.
And imagine then all the grains of sand on every beach in the world.
Right, okay.
And then add to that all the grains of sand on every desert.
So
okay.
a lot.
So all
Yeah.
those individual grains of sand, and there are more stars in the sky than there are grains of sand.
Wow, that's
which,
a lot.
Yeah, pretty
A lot,
amazing.
lot.
It's a lot. it
Wow.
is.
And to finish off, would you give any advice to children at home about science for the future?
Yeah, I guess, you know, keep enjoying your science. If you enjoy
Yeah.
something, you have a passion for it, you're going to gravitate towards it, you're going to get into it. It's the same, you know, I like my football, I play football, I like my science, I work in science.
Yeah.
But to be good at science, I think you have to be curious, you have to ask those questions, why does something work and how does it work? And if you ask those questions, you know, you've seen from the experiments you've done today,
Yeah.
you will find those answers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, keep enjoying your science,
Yeah.
keep asking the questions.
Cool, will do. Thank you so much for coming in today, Martin. Really interesting stuff. And, oh no, the discombobulated machine's going off again, so I'll have to go soon. But to finish off, I'd like to say thank you to all the guests today. And to finish off, we'll be having Tom, who'll be playing his cover of Elton John's Rocket Man. So I've got to go, but I've been Tom. This has been Science Matters, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming.
She packed my bags last night, pre-flight 0 hour 9 a.m. 'Cause I got high as a kite again. I miss the earth so much, I miss my wife. It's lonely here out at space on such a time. This flight is theirs, and I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round. I'm not the man they think I am at home, a rocket man up here alone. Mars ain't the kind of place where you raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as hell, and there's no one there to raise them if you did. And all the science I don't understand. I can't keep a job 5 days a week. A rocket man may not be what you need. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round. I'm not the man they think I am at home, a rugged man up here alone. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.